We all know the story of Breonna Taylor. I'm not going to bore you going through it again. If you don't know what happened to the 26-year-old lady who was gunned down in her own home, then do a little bit of research, come back, holler at us when you are, fresh out of your coma. Today, there was a settlement in that case. In fact, it was a record-setting settlement. This is the most money who's ever in a civil lawsuit for a wrongful death or killing by cop for a black woman in the history of America. Because typically, they would just kill black women and not give them anything.
I just have...
Tonight, one of the largest settlements involving police excessive force in U.S. history. Louisville agreeing to pay $12 million in the wrongful death lawsuit brought by Breonna Taylor's family.
I'm deeply, deeply sorry for Breonna's death.
Today's announcement comes 6 months after plainclothes officers barged into the 26-year-old EMT's apartment at night on a no-knock search warrant. Her boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, who told investigators he never heard police announce themselves, says he fired a warning shot with his legally owned gun. Police shooting back, killing Taylor. An officer was also struck.
Say her name!
For months, protests across the country demanding justice for Breonna. Today, with the criminal case against the 3 officers still pending, Breonna's mother saying the fight for justice is not over.
We need charges brought against these officers. I'm still working for getting justice from her, and it's just, for me, it'll never be over.
All right, so a couple of details about the case that you may not know about this settlement. This agreement that has been reached, this is the civil side of it. There are still criminal charges pending, okay? I know it's been 6 months and there's still been no charges with the officers, but that could change within the end of this week because they are deliberating a grand jury as we speak. Now, the agreement, this $12 million agreement, it did not require the city to even acknowledge that there was wrongdoing on the behalf of the Louisville, Kentucky Police Department. So basically, they just gave her money. They gave the family money because they're just really nice people. Not because they could have sued and take this all the way through, because this didn't really go to court. This is a settlement. So you would think the settlement, this is routine, right? But these types of settlements are, they're bittersweet, right? This is bittersweet. I mean, I've seen people already in the comment section going, all the family wanted was money. This is a hell of a thing to say when it's not your child who's been killed, when it's not your sister who's been killed. An early warning system will be adopted to flag officers with disciplinary problems, a measure that seems aimed at Detective Brett Hankinson, the officer who was fired. Oh, so one officer was fired. I didn't know an officer was fired, Johnson. That's nice of him. It's mighty white of him. Thank you. Multiple complaints of excessive use of force as well as sexual misconduct have been filed against Detective Hankinson. Last time I covered the Breonna Taylor case, my comment section was inundated with people with all types of theories of how Breonna Taylor caused her own death. But I didn't see any of this. None of this that I'm seeing right now did I see then. I didn't see that the cop who shot her shouldn't even be a cop anymore before this incident. That just goes to show you how much the Candace Owens types give a damn about actual due process and fair treatment. He should not have even been on the job. But then again, if we fired all the cops who had domestic abuse backgrounds, there'd be no cops. We all know that cops is one of the highest professions with numbers, when it comes to numbers, ratio numbers of domestic violence, domestic abuse charges. We all know that, right? Blue Lives Matter, you didn't communicate that to the rest of the country when you were telling them how dangerous it is to be a cop. You never mentioned how dangerous it is to be married to a cop. That part always seems to slide out. To promote better relations between department and the community, officers will be encouraged to perform 2 hours of paid community service. Each pay period will receive housing credits to encourage them to live in neighborhoods they police, according to a summary provided by Mr. Aguiar. Oh, okay. So you're going to be encouraged to go live in the hoods the hoods that you patrol, that you prey on to get your numbers up because of the system which requires that you get your numbers up. It's not just the police, it's also the structure of policing that demands that you bring us the numbers. Let's be very specific here. It says many of the changes appear to be aimed at the specific lapses that led to Ms. Taylor's death. It will now be mandatory for ambulances to be idling nearby when the police conduct a search. Although it was common practice to do so, an ambulance was initially sent to Ms. Taylor's residence before the raid, only to be canceled and sent elsewhere in the hour before police officers beat down her door. Wow, once again, more information that somehow escaped the prying eyes of all the theorists who said that, that Breonna Taylor was some type of relation to Chapo, Pablo Escobar. I mean, this is the way these morons talk on the internet. Don't listen to them. I have to listen to them because I got to beat their asses when I do these videos. But you do not have to listen to them. They are idiots. They're dangerous, though, and they're bigoted. And some people just want views, Johnson. So some of them are bigots. Some of them are just people who just want views. Capitalistic society, eat your own, tap dance for the state, that type of thing. Feed the momentum of division in the country. Get paid like a mofo. Ms. Taylor's mother, an activist who had played a leading role in the city's ongoing demonstrations, warned the settlement was merely a first step. As the sound of the drums banged by protesters on the street, people wailed in the auditorium. Lawyers and advocates for the family took the microphone to call for an indictment of the officers involved in the shooting. So this is how it works. Louisville threw money at a problem that they obviously, if they're going to give you 12, maybe they could have got 25. I don't know. But in order to avoid elongating this trial with a lengthy trial, they decided to go ahead and settle it. Now, the purpose of this benefits the Kentucky Police Department because it gets it out of the news. The flip side is people get to say, oh, Breonna Taylor's family just want money, so now they're happy. No, they're not. But you wouldn't know that because you don't watch the shows. You don't care about following the story at all. Would you be happy if it was your daughter who was dead? I'm just asking. That's an easy question. It should be an easy question. See, we don't look at each other as equals. For some reason, poor, brown people don't be considered as equal. All of us care about our family members, our friends, don't we? So anyway, that's the story on Breonna Taylor. Horrific story. It's not over. It's not over. It's not over. Right? Because we are going to keep up the pressure until these officers are brought to task for what they did. They killed a woman in her own room. She won't benefit. She doesn't benefit from, no matter how much money this was. She didn't benefit from that. Oh, I set a record in my death. Great. All right. The officers need to be held accountable that did this. Period. All you grand conspiracists out there pulling hamstrings in your brain, trying to come up with a scenario that will either pad your pockets or pad your bigotry, you're going to have to wait.